Hello everybody, it's Joe and welcome back to Guild Wars, which was apparently reforged somehow. Common early issue is the lack of gold and inventory full of items you don't know how to handle. So in this video I want to show you easy early ways to make gold without excessive farming and the decision process behind keeping, selling or trading the items while you just play the game. Everything here can be done during a normal playthrough, and not everything even requires trading with other players, though in some cases you might get better prices from the players directly. So welcome to the world of identification and salvage kits. The single most important concept for casual money making in Guild Wars is handling your drops with identification kit and salvaging smartly. Most of your gold early on probably won't come from selling items directly to merchants. It comes from breaking them down properly with salvage kits. The rule of thumb is to identify all items with identification kit and decide what to do next. True, the prices fluctuate, but finding price of materials and armor upgrades is super easy and you can sell them via NPC traders. The real problem is finding a price of weapon upgrades, but more on that later. So, to salvage or not to salvage? That is the question. There are different types of salvage kits. Basic salvage kits with 10 or 25 uses. They are cheap, 4 gold price per salvage, but can only salvage basic crafting materials and cannot salvage gear upgrades. Then you have expert salvage kits with 25 uses. They salvage both basic and rare crafting materials, can salvage gear upgrades, but are much more expensive to use, which is around 16 gold per one salvage. And then you have superior salvage kits with 100 uses, which work the same as expert salvage kits but are more expensive with 20 gold per salvage. One important tip: if you are really broke, check the wiki for collectors which can trade you expert salvage kits that can help early. So number 1. Salvaging for runes. If an armor piece has a rune or insignia in it, that's the easiest case to decide whether to salvage or not. Runes are in constant demand, especially popular ones for builds, and they sell very well to the Rune Trader. When you don't know which runes are valuable yet, just check the trader. Can you sell the upgrade for more than the whole item? Easy salvage. Just don't forget to use expert salvage kit. Always start from the most valuable part of the item when you salvage, because, for example, when you salvage for a rune, the item can break after the salvage and you won't be able to salvage for anything else. Sometimes you'll get a cheap rune, sometimes you'll get a very good one, but over time this can add up. Consider whether the rune can be useful for your character build or your heroes before you sell. But some runes are just too good to keep, like these. Number 2. Weapon upgrades. Unfortunately, weapons and weapon or offhand upgrades are more difficult to judge. There is no NPC trader you can consult and everything spirals around current economy of player-to-player trading. But don't worry, I'll give you some pointers to spare you most of the headache. One thing about player-to-player trading is that usually only the perfect is worth trading for. Here on the wiki you can check what perfect means. You can also check a wiki page for weapon mods and see what are the actual ranges. Usually the perfect rating on a useful mod means you can trade it to somebody. When it's not perfect, it's better to keep that for yourself or your heroes. See, that wasn't so bad. But what is a useful mod, you ask? Well, it depends on the build and what is currently considered meta, but I can give you the evergreen. In the most cases, all your heroes will be casters. That means mods for casters are good, so watch out for anything which halves casting time of spells, halves skill recharge of spells, and as always consult the wiki for ranges. For physical damage, look out for Vampiric, which is health on a hit, Zealous, which is energy on hit, and anything with plus X% of damage when you are above 50 health. The good thing is that you won't see the perfect thing often, so the decisions are not so difficult. Another great link with more details is in this guide. I'm linking that below. It covers the general rules of equipping yourself and your heroes with upgrades, and what is stated here applies for the trait value accordingly. So, links in the description. I also hope that the comment section will be swarming with people correcting me or adding their 2 cents to this topic. Number 3. Salvaging for materials. Now that you have extracted the cool things, you are left with mostly junk you will sell as is to a merchant or smash to tiny pieces. When you salvage armor and weapons, you'll get materials like iron or bones or some rare materials like steel ingots. These materials are not junk, but they might be worth less than the price of the salvage kit. Remember the price per salvage I listed before? And you have to account for the price of the item sold directly to the merchant. The price at the trader for materials is per units, but rare materials are sold one by one. The price at which the merchant sells is higher than the price he is going to pay you, so keep that in mind. Based on material and rare material values, I keep both normal cheap salvage kits and expert salvage kits around. Low quality items should have worse chances of salvaging into rare materials, so I smash them with a regular salvage kit to save money. Purple and gold items which were already salvaged for upgrades or don't have anything worth salvaging can still sell for nice gold to a merchant, so the call is tough here. If you decide to salvage, go for the expert salvage kit to at least have a chance on the rare material. Remember, you want to create material supply for yourself too. Check what max rating armor set you want to get for yourself and what materials you need for that. After that, let the greed flow through you and proceed accordingly. If you want to really min-max, you can check what materials which base items can salvage into on the wiki and decide based on that. I actually never did that, I just sort of feel my way through, but usually wood is not worth much, so when something looks really wooden to me, I might just sell it as it is. So here you can see the traders, and you can check the prices for how much they sell. You will see the prices for how much they buy only when you have at least a stack, which is 10 for normal and 1 for rare, so do the math. Instead of selling materials to normal merchant, you need to use these guys, because you will get more money. The prices fluctuate, but some things are always in demand. It's usually feathers, but now it's more towards scales it seems. The prices change. Make a habit of checking the traders to have an idea what is going on. There used to be quite high demand for iron, so the stack was selling, I don't know, for like 600 gold or something like that at some time, but now it's sort of cheap. You can even keep some materials and wait for better prices when you develop your sense of the market a bit. And here we have the rare material trader, which sells, you guessed it, the rare materials, which doesn't always mean they are worth much, as you can see. Number 4. Selling dice. The last 2 sections were pretty intensive, so let's take a break and talk about the dice. Dice are usually small change, but occasionally you get lucky. If you ever drop a black or white die, definitely don't sell it to a merchant, use the trader. These can be worth a surprising amount of gold, so sell either directly to the trader NPC or try your luck with the players, which may actually pay a little bit more than the actual NPC. And with this, your inventory should be mostly clean. Congratulations! You are still left with collector items, consumables and a few other things, but it should be much better now. Talking about collectors. Number 5. Nicholas the Traveler. This one is a bit more advanced, but it's good to know it exists because if you manage it, this can be a jackpot. Nicholas the Traveler appears weekly in different locations and asks for specific items in exchange for rewards that can be sold for good money to other players. The item in question is Gift of the Traveler, but don't open it, you want to sell it as is, pretty nicely packed. This involves player trading and checking the wiki, but it's worth it. If you see that Nicholas is currently in an area you can access and manage to farm the local wildlife, go for it. You can sell the gifts for several globs of ectoplasm, which, by the way, is alternate currency for Guild Wars. Like, you don't usually trade with other players for gold, you are trading for globs of ectoplasm. And each ecto goes for several platinum. So I'm mostly used seeing ectos go for 3 to 6 platinum each. You can get some idea based on the rare material trader which sells them too. That ties to the collector items, which are the last big source of clutter in your inventory right now. You can check the wiki to see all items Nicholas collects, but it's so many that keeping stacks of all of the items is expensive on inventory space. And it might take actually years before Nicholas wants any of the items again. So you can definitely create some elite character and equip them with upgraded bags to keep some items ready, but it's up to you whether you find it worth it. In general, check whether there is anything interesting you can get for the collector item or whether Nicholas will need it anytime soon. You can always farm the items when you need them, so I wouldn't worry about that much. So you either can sell them as is, or those can usually be salvaged into the materials, so proceed accordingly. Number 6. What's next? Everything I've shown so far can be done during a normal playthrough, without changing how you play the game. If you want to go further, that's where you enter the world of player-to-player economy. You can either start listening to people trade chatting around Kamadan in-game, or there is one cool website called Kamadan Trade Chat. You can get better idea about prices. And remember, people usually state prices in globs of ectoplasm, shortened as ectos or just E. If you don't understand some trade talk, ask in-game or Google a bit. I will actually leave you at that though. This topic alone could take hours to deep dive into, but the points we covered before should be good enough for your whole Guild Wars career if you don't care about min-maxing too much. So just go smash some things and have fun. I ever only participated in player-to-player trading out of my interest in economy and game systems, but it is not necessary to play the game, so don't worry about it. So feel free to spam the comment sections with other tips, and if you have any other pain points, let me know, I might address it in another video. So, with all that said, see you in the next one, bye!